is inevitable. It's as sure as the rise of the sun. And with this innovation, tasks previously carried out by people for hundreds of years have now been delegated to machines. Despite this ongoing technological evolution, we have not become a society full of people who sit around and do nothing, because the task they used to perform is now handled by a machine. But rather, technological innovation has allowed us to become a society full of greater and greater prosperity, achievement, and happiness. Because if there is one trait that defines our human race, it's our ability to adapt and to adjust. Ironically, it's the same biological creativity, in other words, our ability to adapt and adjust, that protects us from the technological progress instigated by our desire to better express the same creativity. Now, all living biological organisms are creative. For creativity is simply making decisions where there's no objectively correct answer. At every subjective fork in the road, creativity is the force within that helps us solve it. And every living thing is creative because every living thing makes subjective decisions every single day. A tree commits to grow its branches in a certain direction. A fish decides where to swim for food. Humans are creative thousands of times every single day, both in making decisions as well as coming up with new ideas. And some of these decisions are easily expressed, like which outfit to wear to work or how fast to drive your car. But some of these ideas are more difficult to express, like singing a melody thought up in the shower or painting a landscape you've seen from the mountaintop. In fact, the most difficult part of creativity is simply expressing it. While it's not difficult to put on your outfit or paint something that you've done as a child, it's much more difficult to paint that vision, that landscape you've seen from the mountaintop. And to address the creative expression of some ideas, we spend years studying technique, investing thousands of dollars in tools, and seeking the mentorship of those more experienced in our craft. And of course, we use the best technology available. In the creative world, technology has always served to help us translate creative ideas into reality. The pen and paper bring stories to light. The brush puts vision to canvas. And the piano shares music on a stage. And while these tools are anything but novel, at one point, they were on the bleeding edge of their day. And in the years since these tools came into existence, mankind has advanced them to help express ideas more clearly, efficiently, and productively. Pen and paper became the typewriter, which became the word processor. The paintbrush became graphic design software. And the piano became an electric keyboard, which ultimately became a digital audio workstation. As you see, technological innovation dramatically lowers the time needed to learn how to express oneself, and the investment needed to purchase the proper tools to do so. In the creative world, this advancement allows more and more people to join the creative class and democratizes the ability to express oneself creatively. As an example, let's look at the world of writing. A few decades ago, the standard tool for expressing ideas through a written medium was the typewriter. Any user of this tool, in addition to thinking of what to write, needed to manually spell check their work, format the paper, use whiteout to cover mistakes, and type completely new drafts if you wanted to save a new version. And while critical to the overall process of creative expression, these tasks fundamentally were not of creative expression, but of grunt work, required as a prerequisite for the actual creative work. And then when the word processor came along, suddenly all of these menial tasks were offloaded to the computer, a technological tool and collaborator, freeing the writer to focus on what she does best, to write, And because of this evolution, millions of individuals who previously lacked the tools, training, materials, and resources to express their ideas through text all joined the creative class because they could now write with a computer. Sure, the job of repairing typewriters certainly dwindled. But every typewriter repairman didn't suddenly become homeless and destitute. They evolved. They adapted. Their old job disappeared and new ones emerged. And by realizing that their career wasn't about repairing typewriters, but about providing others the ability to express themselves through text, by realizing that this was the value they delivered to others, these individuals adapted, grew, and ultimately built their career. With each of these advancements, the world as it was changed precipitously into the world as it would be. And this change often created fear. For when change happens slowly, when we have time to adjust, to adapt, and to understand how we will exist in the world of the future, we're not afraid. Though death is inevitable for us all, the journey from birth to the grave happens so slowly that we're able to live happy and prosperous lives without constant fear of what is next. But when change happens quickly, when we are suddenly put in an unfamiliar situation without time to prepare or adjust, when we're unable to see how we fit into the future, we're afraid. This instinctive reaction to the unknown has allowed humanity to stay alive for thousands of years. But it also serves as a limiter on progress, because when we've devoted our lives to mastering a function or a task, the jarring realization that this function or task might be delegated to a machine overnight makes us wonder, how are we going to provide for our family? How will we keep our dignity? But we're failing to see the forest for the trees. What we don't always realize is that in the time we spend becoming an expert at our function, we really become an expert not at just a specific set of tasks, but at understanding how to deliver value to others. This ability to deliver value to others is so much more resilient than any one job. And when we deliver value over years and decades, ultimately we're building our career. Before founding Amper Music, my partners and I were composers for film, television, and video games. And in our careers, we experienced firsthand the positive effect of technological progress on our ability to express ourselves creatively. Each new tool we acquired improved our efficiency and our productivity and freed more time to focus on our creative artistry. At the same time, many of the directors, producers, and editors with whom we worked would say, look, we love working with you when we have time and a budget to focus on music as an artistic part of what we're doing. But for so much of what we create, we have neither of those two ingredients. And because of that, we have to license music. And they'd add, we hate licensing music because of the need to search, jumping through legal and financial hoops, the lack of creativity, of customizability, of uniqueness, et cetera, et cetera. So they would ask us to write the music for them instead. And more often than not, we would disappoint them because we'd say, look, the economics of a boutique music studio don't translate to that of mass content creation. And from experiencing this interaction over and over and over again, we said to ourselves, look, we are composers, and our job as a composer is to translate emotion into music and music into emotion. What if we could build a creative AI that provides the same collaborative experience of working with a composer within the time and economic framework of functional music? And when we ran it by our colleagues, they jumped and said, great, we'd like this yesterday. And we said, we're not sure it's actually possible, but we'll try. And so we built Amper, which today is an artificial intelligence composer, performer, and producer that creates unique, professional music tailored to any content in a matter of seconds. Our goal at Amper is to enable the creative expression of music by every person around the world. To enable the creative expression of music by every person around the world, regardless of their musical training, financial situation, or access to other supporting resources. For non-musical creators, Amper serves as an end-to-end solution to help translate their creative ideas into professional music. Thus, video editors, game developers, consumers, and more can translate the creative ideas they already have into the projects they're already creating. And for musicians, artists, and composers, Amper serves as a collaborative tool that helps express their creativity, elevate their work, and remove barriers. And so, as long as you have a musical idea, Amper can help you express this idea, bringing it from thought to reality. Now, Amper is designed intuitively, based on the experience of my partners and I, my team members, and myself, as well as refinement we've gained from real-life testing among users of all technological levels. And as a result, we intend for Amper, in effect, to reduce the same fear factor of change that we seem to face at every technological evolution. So what does this mean for human beings? Well, for one, it means the world of tomorrow will be drastically different than the world of today. We define two types of music, functional and artistic. Functional music is that which is valued for its use case, but where the collaboration and creation that goes into making it isn't the main focus. When the music needs to serve a specific focus, such as keeping you calm on an elevator, and you don't care where it came from or how it was made, you're dealing with functional music. By contrast, artistic music is music that is valued for the collaboration and creation that goes into making it. When the creative process of making art together is important, we are making artistic music. And so for every content creator in the world who previously needed to search through online libraries to find a piece of functional music that was merely sufficient, we now say collaborate with Amper's AI to express the creative vision you already have through music and take control of this critical part of your process. And for every composer and musician who already expresses themselves through music, we say utilize Amper as a new tool that helps you further the music you already create. It's inevitable that Amper's music will become indistinguishable from human-created music. And in this scenario, where Amper provides a more compelling functional music solution to content creators, we'll force those musicians and composers who currently focus on this low-hanging fruit to be better. We'll raise the bar on what's expected. But even when this happens, we're never going to replace artistic music, because making art together with other people is a core part of what makes us human. Because we value not just the end result, but the process of working together to create. And so the likely results of this growth are, one, billions of individuals are able to now join the creative class in music, where previously they were unable to do so. Two, artistic composers gain a new technological tool to help further their music making. And three, functional music creators are going to be forced to rethink how they deliver value to others, and forced to evolve to a point where they're able to do so again. Because with these three results, we will welcome the greatest creative revolution in the history of humanity. The greatest creative revolution in the history of humanity. Now, the creative world of tomorrow will be different than the creative world of today. Where today we handle functions solely with humans, tomorrow we will delegate these tasks to machines, or will work hand in hand with machines to complete them. And always humanity will adapt and adjust. We'll each focus not only on a specific skill set, but on understanding how to deliver value to others. And in doing so, we'll create a world where the collaboration between humans and AI enhances and adds to the richness of our lives and the prosperity of the human race. So I'd now like to show you firsthand how we've built Amper to address these goals. So Amper is a creative brain in the cloud, trained to translate emotion into music, music into emotion. This specific web app is designed for video editors who might otherwise need to search through stock music. And I'll show you how easy it is to take a creative idea and turn it into professional quality music in a matter of seconds. At its minimum, Amper requires 3 pieces of information: the style of music you want to create, the mood you'd like to convey, and the length of any desired track. And so if we make some quick selections, cinematic and epic driving music, and we say, let's pick a length, make something 11 seconds long. We say, Amper, please compose this music. Amper is going to create a brand new, unique piece of music that's cinematic, epic, driving, 11 seconds long. It thinks about what it wants to create, and then it writes it. And this is happening live in the cloud. And because it's writing music note by note from scratch, we're able to offer every single user of Amper a royalty-free, global, and perpetual license to all of the music they create. And in a matter of seconds, this is what Amper made. What's great about Amper is it's also not just a one-way street. Thank you. We can collaborate, because the beauty of the creative space is there's no objectively correct answer. Everything is subjective. We all might listen to the same piece of music, we all might have different reactions, and no one is right or no one is wrong. So if we look at this piece of music, and we give it feedback, we say, Amper, look, I want to rethink the instrumentation. And for me, exciting driving music should be faster. And you know what? It was too long because I wanted it to be a bit shorter, and I'd like to accent a moment near the end. And by the way, let's rethink the harmonic structure of that piece of music. These are all pieces of feedback that I might be giving to myself if I were sitting in a studio with a director. And so Amper takes this piece of music, takes your feedback, incorporates it, and it creates a revision because it's contextually aware of why it made all the decisions it made. And in every 30 seconds of music, Amper's making about 1 million decisions. Because music is subjective, we're able to allow every individual to embed their subjectivity into the music they create. And so now that first thing we made has evolved into this. And of course, when I'm ready, I can download the music, and again, I get a royalty-free, global, and perpetual license to use it. Now, if you want, you could create an entire song moving from epic cinematic music to aggressive hip-hop, accenting different things, syncing music to picture. Because if you're a video editor, if you're a game developer, if you're an advertiser, you can use this to help your workflow. If you enable the content creation of others, you can access Amper's API to power the music in your own platform. But most importantly, the technology we develop enables anyone around the world to express themselves creatively through music, regardless of their background or experience. And if we can share this technology with everyone around the world, then ultimately we'll be very satisfied with our work at the company. So thank you all very much. I appreciate your time, and feel free to use Amper outside the hall after this event. Thank you.